Hi there, I'm Brad from the Andertons Pro Audio department. Today we're joined by Luke Edwards, who has an Andertons World exclusive for you. Take it away, Luke.
Thanks, Brad. Okay, so we're looking at the Krome. This is a brand new product from KORG. It comes in 3 flavours, 61 key, 73 notes with synth action keys, and also an 88 note version as well with weighted keys. So, as you can tell from the name, it's kind of like derived from the Kronos. So it's like a mini Kronos. And there's a lot of technology which has filtered its way down from the Kronos into here. So for instance, we've got a 4GB PCM RAM for the sounds, which is monstrous for a keyboard at this level. Piano sound is from the Kronos, and we've got electric pianos from the Kronos as well as a whole host of other great sounds inside. So let's just dive in and take a look. Okay. So you've got the touch screen in the middle. So everything you do really is driven from here. So to select our sounds, you just go to the top, categories down to the left, and then variations in the middle. So I've got my Krome grand piano dialed up at the moment, so let's have a quick listen to that. Now when you listen to the sample, you'll notice that it's a completely uncompressed and unlooped sample because of the size of the PCM RAM inside. We can now do that. So I'm just leaving that low note there, just to decay, and you can hear that it's just decaying in a completely natural way. So you've got a lovely rich piano sound. Now, I mentioned the touch screen. It's great for selecting sounds, but also editing as well. So if we dial up, say, a drum kit, another sound which is found its way from the Kronos, and this is it's called a jazz dry stroke ambience kit, which means it has basically 2 samples which you can mix and match. One is an ambient mic kit, and one is a close mic kit, so you can really dial in exactly how you want it to sound. So this is what it sounds like. The preset sounds like. But if we want to hear, say, less of one aspect of the sound, and just hear a completely close mic, or if we want to hear the ambient sound only, we can do that. Or of course a mix of the two is the commonly used technique. So we've got fantastically realistic drum sounds. And same right across the board, so dip into another couple of sounds, say string sounds. And these are all presets I'm using here. Now what's nice is that you have these real-time controllers, as you'd expect, and you can choose what they do. But by default, knob 4 is always reverb, so if you always just want to tweak the reverb really quickly, you can do that. So you can add some reverb, it won't be completely dry or anywhere in between. String sound.
So some of these strings taken from the same sample engine that the Kronos uses?
Yes, so some of them are. Some of them are taken from the HD1 engine, which is one of the engines in the Kronos.
Yeah.
And some of them are new as well. So you'll notice we've kind of taken the best of everything we have. So some of them are the best sounds from some of the previous models, some of them are from the Kronos, and some of them new. So it's a real great mix of all different kinds of sounds. Going back to the knobs, we can edit the sounds very easily, as you saw. So you can take that stage further. So let's go for a synth bass now, something a little bit different. And we'll select this one. Now I'm going to select tone at the top, which means I can change basically the filter and also the envelope of the sound. So I'll goes up on resonance, everyone dives straight for that. You've also got an arpeggiator built in, so you can turn that on and it'll give you a pattern, so every single sound you come to will have a different arpeggiator pattern with it. We've also got a drum track, which is like a drum machine, and again, every sound you come to will have a different pattern. So if you turn them both on together, they'll sync together. If you want to change the tempo, so you can easily sync it with any other music maker as well, because it gives you a readout on the screen there with the tempo. A couple of other sounds. Got really nice electric pianos as well in the keyboard category. So let's go back to the beginning. And this is an electric piano. And some of the patches you'll see will say knob 3, for example, which indicates that knob 3 will alter the sound in some way. So here, there's the effect. So I think it's giving us a kind of phaser effect. We can turn off. And again, 4 is reverb. So we can very quickly, without having to really go into any menus, sculpt the sound exactly as we want. Again, stick on the drum track. Starts to fight, which is obviously very important.
So it's going to be a very popular live tool then?
I think so, yeah, because it's so easy to use, so hands-on as well, and the sound quality is great. So they're the 2 main things you need. So let's go and have a look at some of the other modes now. So we've been in program mode so far, single sounds. If you want to sort of go beyond that and start stacking sounds together, you go into Combi mode, as on all Korg equipment, and you have 16 parts in the Combi, which means you can either stack them on top of each other or start zoning the keyboard into different areas. So for instance, the first preset here is just piano and strings. Just go to the mixer, start altering the levels of the different parts very easily. And what's nice about this touchscreen is that it supports dragging commands as well. So you can literally do everything on that, rather than just select it and then use the wheel, for instance. It also shows you at the top right there a nice overview of the Combi as well, so it shows you how many parts you used and what zones they're in. So as I go through, you'll see that change as I go.
When you're zoning, does it only work within specific regions, or do you have flexibility everywhere?
Complete flexibility, so you can have all sounds, all 16 sounds over the whole keyboard, or you can have 4 zones of 4 or 2 zones of 8, or however you want to arrange it. And they can overlap as well, so it's very flexible. So let's get to a couple of examples of Combi mode. Go here. So here what I've done is I've just stacked a few sounds together. So we've got strings, some guitars, and again it's in different sounds in different areas of the keyboard, so you get this really big sound. In this mode you can add other things, so you can add your arpeggiator and your drum track if you want to, so let's put some drums with it. And you can hear there different sounds in different areas. So for instance, we've got the horns and the strings up here. Down here, we've got some bass, for instance, and some guitar as well. So you can very easily create those zones. Let's show you another example.
So the zones are quite handy for like performance, like saying, because you can just map out the sounds where you want it on the keyboard, and you don't have to worry about changing voices in between a song. You can lay it out as you want it.
Exactly.
And then
it's especially with the
Very
bigger
fast.
versions as well, because this is obviously the 61, but if you've got the 73 or the 88, it gives you even more scope for that, because you've got more keys, so therefore more potential zones, because of course you can shift the octaves of various sounds as well, very easily. So even if you run out of keys and you need a piano sound up there, it doesn't have to sound as though it's up there, it could sound in its regular kind of pitch if you want, so it's really up to you. Here's another example. So what I've done here is I've layered two synths together, but I've detuned one of them, so we've got a kind of harmonic effect. Using the kind of Combi in a different way, just to create harmonies basically. So there's lots of different ways you can use it.
I think what Luke demonstrates there is that this product is very contemporary, both in sounds and genres, but allows you to create that psytrance sound that you've got right there, which, as we all know, is a very popular thing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to show if it's versatility even more, this is like an orchestral type sound. So again, different zones for different instruments, but also different velocities for different instruments coming in, which is again another thing you can do in the Combi. So for instance, we can play this film theme very authentically by using different velocities. So I can play softly to get that kind of sound, or a little bit harder, or really hard to get lots of different instruments coming in and out. Let's go. Great fun, but also what's great is that you've got a sequencer on board, and if at any time you want to just capture what you're doing, you can just go enter, record, and it puts it into kind of quick record mode. So I'm just going to go OK. That's my tempo. I can also add some drums to that. I was just playing if I want to, like orchestral drums. And I play. On the fly, and now I've captured that. All the channels, I've got complete control of it. Yeah, what I've recorded, I can remix it, I can revoice it, I can edit any little mistakes that I did.
So I'm sure we want a studio tool as well.
Yeah, it is, and a great creative tool, because at any time, in any mode, even in program mode, you think, I really like that idea, let's just capture it, enter record, off you go, you've captured it as a MIDI file, and then you can take it elsewhere if you need to, and work on your production. So
obviously it's got the same three functions as the Kronos.
Exactly, same modes, yeah, they're called the same things, and they work in a similar way. So which is nice as well. So we're not kind of introducing new terminology for people. It's hopefully fairly simple to grasp what it's doing.
So I think the question that everyone will be asking is, has there been a price bracket allocated for this?
There's not an exact price yet, but it's going to be around the 800, 900.
Making it a really affordable option for those who want the Kronos, but sort of limited by their wallets, as it were.
Right, and also really portable as well. It's a lot smaller unit than Kronos. You can literally put it under your arm, off you go. The 61 key one, so it's really easy to gig, and that's why people like it as well. So.
I think also with the Kronos and the new Pro model is they're quite slick and quite elegant keyboards. They're not too bulky with too many large buttons. It's all very nice and compact.
It is. It couldn't really be any more compact because of the screen and everything.
Yeah.
So just to finish off, I'll show you one more thing in the sequencer now. So that's the approach I just used was obviously if you already have your Combi set up and you think, okay, that's ready to go. But some people like to start recording the song completely from scratch and voice it themselves. So let's go to a blank song. Song, yes. So now we've done that, we've got a blank canvas. So it's given us 16 tracks and a mixer to go with it. But at the moment they're all Chrome grand piano sound because they're all ready for you to just go in and choose your sound. But what you can do, which is nice, is you can load what we call template songs. So, and there's lots of presets, all in different genres. But you can even make your own as well. So that's what I've done here. I've made my own template here in a particular style, and what I've done is I've voiced it. So on part 1 I've got my bass, and track 3 for instance I've got my drums, synths, guitars and so on. But what I've also done is I've zoned the keyboard into different areas, because you can do that as well in sequence mode, not just in Combi mode. And what it enables me to do is just keep recording rather than having to keep stopping, changing track. And so what I've done is got my drums, bass, synth, guitar, and that 80s kind of bell type sound at the top, which is kind of nice if you want to just do the recording in one pass quickly. So I'm going to hit record, and what I've also done is in the preferences I'm going to go to loop all tracks, which means I'm going to do a 4-bar loop, and it's just going to keep going around those 4 bars, and I can keep adding these sounds as I go. Here we go. There's my tempo. Gives me 2 bars in. And we're ready to go. Let's lay down the drums. There's my drums. 4-bar loop. Keep going around that. Put the bass line down. That's a chunk that you've got ready to go. We can now, if you want to, go and edit it by looking at our track view, and we've even got, if we go into here, a piano roll, so we can see that. We can zoom in and out.
So it's quite familiar for those people who are used to standard DAWs with a range of windows.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's a common misconception that sequencers found in keyboards can be quite a long and arduous process to learn how to function and edit, whereas it can clearly demonstrate that it can increase the workflow quite drastically by just demonstrating how quickly you can get ideas together.
Absolutely, yeah. To me that's really what Workstation is about. It's about finding great sounds, putting them together either for performance but also for creative ideas. So there's really no quicker way than a Workstation to actually record an idea. You might not use it to make a complete track, although you can, but it's just a great scratch pad to get your ideas down really quickly. Especially with this thing where I showed you with the enter and record from any mode, you can just go straight to the sequencer and just nail whatever you're experimenting with. So
it's fantastic.
So that's the Chrome.
So when are we expecting this to hit the shop?
It should be in the next month or so, I think, hopefully. So
very good.
Yeah, should be looking forward to it.
So keep an eye on the Andertons website for updates and availability and pre-orders. Obviously been joined by Luke today, thank you very much, and Professor Matt Beasley. So excellent, thanks very much. Stay tuned.
Guys.